Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Police say thieves are getting bold when it comes to stealing cars. The Winnebago County Sheriff says drivers should be on high alert on and off the roads.
One person is hurt when flames break out at a Rockford hotel. Working smoke detectors and up-to-date sprinklers means staff could get back to business in less than an hour.
We're going to work to bring some of that hard rock vibe to the Ice Hogs and make it not just a hockey game, but make it an overall entertainment experience.
A long-standing Rockford staple partners up with a company new to the Forest City. The Ice Hogs say their newest VIP suite will give fans the best seats in the house. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Investigators say thieves are targeting drivers more and more in the state line. Car thefts and carjackings are on the rise.
Rachel Perry met with the Winnebago County Sheriff today. And Rachel, aside from locking your doors, what else can people do to keep their cars safe?
Mimi and Eric, Sheriff Caruana says being alert and checking your surroundings are just two ways you can avoid falling victim to thieves. Another option, a remote start, which for one Rockford woman saved her car.
You know, put out your senses, I guess, your spidey senses, so to speak, and say, you know, I don't like what I'm seeing, whatever that feeling is.
Carjackings and car thefts are on the rise in the state line. Winnebago County Sheriff Gary Caruana offers ways to avoid being a victim.
So be aware of your surroundings. I don't like this car. Something doesn't look right. I don't like that person just standing there. What are they doing? Question that.
In the middle of winter, as people are warming up their cars, he says thieves are on the lookout. One way to avoid losing your ride to work is a remote start device.
But if somebody should get in, they can't take it out of gear. So you're still getting that effect of warming, and I know that they have aftermarket kits like that. Something to look into.
That device saved CRUZ from becoming a victim.
You could clearly tell that there was someone in my car, and then my car had died because they had hit the brake to try to leave, but because the keys weren't in it, it killed the car with it being started with remote start.
Cameras caught the would-be thieves in action. CRUZ telling me it could have been worse.
And that was like kind of my first thought after the fact, is what would have happened had I been in the car.
If someone tries to steal your car while you're in it, Caruana says, let it go.
I'm going to say, let them have it. It's property. Okay? Let them have it. But while you're letting them have it, don't fight with them.
Instead, take mental notes.
Get a description of what does that person look like? What time of day it is? What direction of travel? If they're in a car, make, model, license, color, license plate. Call us right away. We want to know about that.
Caruana also tells me make sure to check inside your car, including the back seat, for anyone who could be hiding inside. And most importantly, lock your doors. Eric?
Thank you, Rachel. A hotel employee is on the mend after an armed robbery in Freeport. It happened around 4:30 Sunday morning at the Super 8 on South Sleazer Home Road. Investigators say 3 masked men entered the lobby and held the front desk employee at gunpoint, demanding money. According to police, that employee was hit in the head with a gun. They were treated and released from the hospital, but the suspects got away with cash. If you have any information about this robbery, contact Freeport Police or Crime Stoppers.
Firefighters are called to a Rockford hotel after flames break out. CRUZ responded to the Holiday Inn on East State around 2 this afternoon. Investigators say 2 contractors were working in the utility area of the hotel when an appliance leaked gas and burned one of the workers. Something else in the room caught on fire, but it didn't spread thanks to the hotel sprinkler system. Firefighters fully extinguished the flames in a matter of minutes. The victim is being treated for moderate burns. Investigators are ruling the fire an accident. The hotel and Hoffman House restaurant have since reopened for business. A nationwide lockdown of federal prisons is ending. The lockdown was put in place last week after a violent gang fight killed 2 people at a prison in Beaumont, Texas. Officials say about 30 prisons will come out of lockdown first. Restrictions at other facilities will be reduced after they're deemed safe.
Social media and cyberbullying fuel the mental health crisis among kids and teenagers in the U.S. That's the assessment from the U.S. Surgeon General. Dr. Vivek Murthy testified about mental health care before a Senate panel. He says social media causes feelings of loneliness, futility, and low self-esteem. Dr. Murthy adds cyberbullying has expanded the playing field where anyone, anytime or anywhere can torment others or be a victim.
At the heart of our youth mental health crisis is a pervasive stigma that tells young people they should be embarrassed if they are struggling with depression, anxiety, stress, or loneliness. It makes a human condition feel inhuman.
Dr. Murthy also points out the COVID-19 pandemic has caused uncertainty, fear, and isolation from loved ones and friends.
Ice Hogs fans will soon have a new part of the arena to root their team on from. The team has partnered with Hard Rock Casino Rockford to open a new VIP suite at the BMO. The stage, a former press box, will be converted into a Hard Rock-themed oasis, even including some Rick Nielsen memorabilia. It hasn't been disclosed how much the casino's invested in the 5-year partnership. Ice Hogs President of Business Operations, Ryan Snyder, says the suite will be an experience unlike anything fans have seen.
It's center ice, so it's the best sightline in the arena. It does have private space for 56 people. It has its private restrooms, private food and beverage, private bar. So it's really an exclusive experience right at center ice.
To celebrate the partnership, the first 2,500 fans at this Friday's home game will receive a free Hard Rock t-shirt.
A Rockford nonprofit that helps the local homeless population could use a donation for itself. Rockford Rescue Mission has seen an influx of people who need a warm meal. The mission's feeding about 400 people every day. Volunteers go through 300 eggs at breakfast and 75 cans of vegetables at lunch. Now the mission's calling on the community to donate disposable utensils, foam bowls, and shelf-stable food items. Mission staff members hope clients get more than just a meal when taking a seat at the table.
And we hope that that first meal is just the first opportunity to get to talk with somebody. They come for an immediate need of, I'm hungry and I need food, but we hope that can be an opportunity for us to talk with them and say, you know, why are you in this scenario? Why are you homeless? Are you out of a job? Do you need stable housing? Do you need addiction treatment? What is it that you need other than that meal?
If you don't have extra cash or items to spare but still want to help, Rockford Rescue Mission is always looking for volunteers.
A State Line attraction is combining art and nature in a new exhibit. Nicholas Conservatory and Gardens in Rockford will unveil Delicate Forces this summer. Engineers, scientists, and educators from Australia created the piece. The exhibit's described as a kaleidoscope of colors that delight during daylight hours and illuminate in the evening. Visitors will be able to check out the artwork from June 25th through November 6th.
A bomb threat prompts the Secret Service to rush our country's second gentleman out of an event.
Doug Emhoff, the husband of Vice President Kamala Harris, was at a high school in Washington, D.C. to commemorate Black History Month. He was whisked away to his waiting motorcade. Students and staff were also told to evacuate. The kids were then dismissed for the day. It's unknown if the threat was related to Emhoff's visit or the Black History Month event.
More electric vehicle car chargers will soon be made in the USA. An international company says it's ready to build a new factory in Tennessee.
President Joe Biden is using the move to highlight what he thinks is a sign of growing economic strength. Our Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt explains as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
This is great news for workers across the country, for an economy, and frankly, for the planet.
Tritium CEO Jane Hunter announced her company is building its first U.S. manufacturing facility in Lebanon, Tennessee, where it'll produce electric vehicle chargers.
We've seen a major uptick in EV demand here in the United States.
The Australian company made the decision in part because of the electric vehicle investments promised by the new infrastructure law, which Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm says is becoming a pattern.
These companies are saying we're coming back because we are going to partner with the federal government. We're going to take advantage of those incentives to be competitive in the United States and put Americans to work.
While the president says these jobs and what they will produce are key to the country's economic future, many Republicans say more needs to be done to fix the financial hardships Americans are experiencing right now.
The working men and women of this country know painfully well that the Biden administration's economy is failing them.
Senator Mitch McConnell says inflation is an immediate concern.
More than 80% of Americans say the cost of everyday goods have shot up, and 2/3 disapprove of the job President Biden is doing to help their wallet.
But the president says attracting companies like this is the solution.
It means bringing manufacturing jobs back and building supply chains here at home, so we have better jobs at lower prices.
And the Biden administration wants clean energy to lead that economic growth.
We need to continue to put our foot on the accelerator to be able to build out this clean energy future.
In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candice King
Well, yesterday we talked about the ups and the downs in our temperatures, and today was an up day with that number hitting the 40-degree mark. Low 40s in a couple of spots. We're slowly cooling back here this evening at 38 in Rockford, 39 in Freeport, 37 in Belvedere. A little cooler off to the southeast, those areas that had a little bit more snowfall this time last week with that major storm system that passed to the south of us. As far as our temperatures go through this evening, we will see those numbers drop into the upper 20s before climbing back into the mid and upper 30s again for tomorrow afternoon. 36 for our weather watcher Sandy. She said she made it up to 41 there in northern DeKalb County. Current relative humidity sits at 76%. Has a nice breeze coming in too. 36 for our weather watcher Bob here on the southeast end of Rockford, and that dew point temperature sitting at 28. Mentioned the wind, a little breezy at times through this afternoon. You have a sustained wind now from the south for most of us at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. But notice the wind shifting around from Galena to Savannah. That's because there's a cold front moving in. All that front is going to do for us tonight is actually bring in a little more cloud cover. Comes through dry because we are still pretty dry despite that southerly wind and some of the melting snow that we had out there today. You can actually see that wind shifting around to the northwest behind that front, but also notice the temperatures too. Not a lot of cold air behind it. So that's why we don't drop too much tonight, and we're still able to make it back into the 30s again for tomorrow. So let's put this all together with Futurecast. You've got the increase in cloud cover. We stay dry tonight. Westerly winds tomorrow will be gusting in at about 25 miles per hour. So it is going to be another windy day, and we lose that sunshine that we had out there from this afternoon. Now, as one cold front comes in, we start to add in a little bit of moisture. As we go into the afternoon, second and stronger cold front will arrive, and with that, that could fire off a couple of flurries or even mixed in with that in a couple of spots, especially as that temperature is up above freezing. You could see a couple of areas of some drizzle or even a few lighter rain showers. That'll be most likely during the afternoon and then through the evening. I don't think, however, this is going to cause too much of an issue on the roads. Maybe just a little bit more of a nuisance if you get underneath maybe one of those passing snow flurries. That cold front comes in tomorrow evening, and that'll drop our temperatures down. We're in the teens then as we start off our Thursday. A little cooler on Thursday. We start off with some cloud cover, but we should see a bit more sunshine as high pressure works in. It's Thursday night then into Friday where we have to watch for our next storm system to work through. Still some light on the horizon. This is really nice to see a live look with the Mercial Skytrack camera out in Freeport. We've been able to melt away some of that snow as we've had those temperatures climb, and with that westerly wind, we're still going to melt away a little bit of that snow, but we could add some of that back Thursday night into Friday with another clipper system that'll come through. The low pressure tied to that is well up to the north, but we have enough forcing going on in the atmosphere to allow a brief period of likely some snow Thursday into Friday morning. Well, it's not going to be much. It could be just enough to cause some issues there for the Friday morning commute, and then that could mix in with some rain once we get into Friday afternoon. We'll dry out by Friday night, and temperatures will drop on Saturday. So we're 28 degrees for tonight. Clouds will increase, a milder night compared to where we started off at this morning, up to 37 for tomorrow afternoon. Mostly cloudy. Could see that light mix with the wind coming in from the west at about 25 miles per hour. Temperatures near 30 on Thursday, 40 for Friday. Notice the drop though, guys, from 40 down to 10 Friday night. So that cold front coming in is strong, and it'll be brisk to start off the weekend. Highs near 20 on Saturday.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
NBA teams are making deals with the NBA trade deadline closing in on Thursday. So can the Bulls make any moves that could improve their odds of a deep playoff run? I've said since the beginning of the season they needed another big man, not a big scorer necessarily, but someone who can help defend other big men, someone who can be a rim protector, someone who can play physical and grab some rebounds. The Bulls are too soft on the interior. What do they have to offer in a trade that the other teams are interested in? Well, Patrick Williams, for starters, their first-round draft pick from last season. He's been out injured most of this season. And Kobe White's another young guy who is a good trade chip. Those two guys packaged together could bring the Bulls a very, very good player in return. In my opinion, the Bulls should be in win-now mode because DeMar DeRozan is 32, Nikola Vucevic is 31, and Zach LaVine can be a free agent after this season. Management needs to do whatever it can to win right now. Well, baseball reporter Bruce Levine of The Score in Chicago is reporting the Cubs could attempt to sign Anthony Rizzo and bring him back to Chicago. Rizzo is a free agent. Now, the Cubs traded him to the Yankees last summer in their sell-off. Cubs are a long, long way from contending, but they should be big spenders in free agency, or shouldn't be, I should say, until they can build a young nucleus. But I'm not opposed to them signing Rizzo and another veteran or two to help be a good influence on the young guys that they want to build with. But any free agent deal with Rizzo has to be modest, say 2 years at $10 million per year. Rizzo's probably not going to pop 30 homers and drive in 100 runs, but his value, again, would be the intangibles, primarily leadership and mentoring. And it'd give the Cubs fans at least one reason to show up and tune into games this season. And the Major League owners and players are still getting nowhere in negotiations over a new collective bargaining agreement. Players are scheduled to report to spring training in just a few days, but that won't happen while the lockout is in place. I don't think the issues they're squabbling over are that big that they will let the lockout carry into the regular season. I also don't expect any progress here in the month of February. I think when we hit March 1st, both sides will start to give in and we'll see an agreement. Both the players and owners know that spring training is too long anyway. They can do without a couple weeks of it.
Candice will have another look at the weather in just a moment.
But first, Dan Abrams has a preview of what he has planned for News Nation.
Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation, I go one-on-one with Stormy Daniels in her first national primetime interview since Michael Avenatti's conviction. What does she have to say about that unusual cross-examination by her former attorney? That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
That is all coming up on the fastest growing cable news network in America. News Nation is available on any of these channels. You can also head to newsnation.com.
Boy, having 40 degrees and sunshine out there is really melting that snow, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's making it a little slushy, but the nights with them falling back below freezing, we refreeze some of that.
Sure, and
so
then
that
it gets a little
cycle
slippery.
just continues. Yeah. But temperatures over the next couple of days are going to continue to warm. We'll stay above average, although we do get a little cooler here as we go into the weekend. We've got a clear sky from a radar perspective, but we've got a little more cloud cover moving in. Cold front sweeping through tonight will bring the temperature down to about 28. We'll stay with a mostly cloudy sky up to 37 for tomorrow. By tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple of flurries, even mixed in with some very light rain or some drizzle during the afternoon, but no accumulation expected with that. We dry out, see some sun on Thursday night into Friday morning, watching that system, and then those temperatures tank for the start of the weekend.
Thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.